In this short video, we're just going to show you how to use Microsoft Forms to create a simple quiz and then share it with students or staff members. So first of all, we log into Microsoft 365, where you'd generally log in to look at your OneDrive or your emails or whatever. And you can see that the apps are down the side. Now I've got Forms down here already on the bottom of this list, but if you don't see it there, if you click the 9-dot menu at the top, you should be able to see Forms in the list. The list might be in a slightly different order to what I have here, but you should be able to find it. So if we click that, we come to the Forms homepage. So this is where you'll find all of your forms, where all of the forms are saved that you've created. So what we want to do, first of all, for this example, we're going to create a new form. There's a difference between a quiz and a form. If you do a quiz, you can get it to mark itself, so you can say which ones are the correct answers and give it a score and that lot. But for this one, we're going to create a form. So we click New Form. Right, then we need to give it a name. So for this one, we're just going to call it Survey. And then we get this recommended come up here. So this is the AI guessing, because you've typed in the word survey, guessing what you might want as your next question. For this example, we're just going to close this down now, but you can always access it via the lightning bolt just on the side there. So for our first question, we've got the option of a choice. So that's like a multiple choice question. A text entry, so that's you ask a question and the answer, the user has to actually type in something. You can have a rating, so like 1 to 5, 1 to 10, something like that. You can ask the date. So for example, if you're asking people if they want to attend a training session, you can say, what date do you want to attend? And there's a little drop down arrow just here, and if we click on that, we see some more options. So we have ranking, so we can actually give several options and get the user to actually rank them in order of preference. There's Likert, so an actual Likert scale. So you can actually have several things in a table and give people's responses to the individual items in the table. We can upload a file for people to see. You can do a net promoter score, and the net promoter score is literally like how likely are you to recommend to a friend or colleague, that kind of thing. So a rating of 0 to 10. And also section. So section is where you create a new section. So after you've finished the set of questions, it moves on to the next section. So for this first example, we're just going to choose choice, and we've got a question here. So we're going to type in our question. So we've got, what is your favorite color? And as you can see, the AI has read what we've written there, and they've added options for us down here. So we can choose to add all of these options. We can pick the individual ones and it will add them down here. So if I click add all, it's on there. We can even add some more options if we wanted. So if we click add option, we can then choose another color that's not listed on there. And then the AI has suggested some more to add in there as well. But I think that's enough for now. So there's 6 options. What we're going to do is we're going to say that this is required. So this makes it a mandatory question. And you'll notice the mandatory questions are actually highlighted with a little red asterisk next to the question once we've actually saved it. And you've also got the option for multiple answers. So this allows the user to pick multiple answers. But since we're just saying what's your favorite color, so we're asking for a singular answer, we're just going to leave it not ticked on there. If we click the 3 dots here, we've got other options as well. We can shuffle the options around, so each time they go to it, it's a different order. And we can add a drop down as well. So instead of boxes like this that they have to select, we can actually have it as a drop down list. So we'll click drop down list just so we can see what that looks like. And then we can move on to our next question. So for this next one, we're going to add text, and we're going to just say, why do you like that colour best? And then the user will actually enter their answer in this box here. We're going to leave this required. So as you can see, that one's required. So it's got the red asterisk on it. This will be the same here because we're going to make it required. And because it's an open-ended question, we're going to click long answer. So they've got more space to actually answer. So they're not confined to a certain amount of characters. If you can see, we've got the 3 dots as well for some more options. We can add restrictions. So for example, if we wanted them to answer in a specific style, so if we wanted them to just answer as a number or greater than or less than, etc., etc., we've got the options there. But for this one, we want them to actually answer in text. So we're going to leave the restrictions off. And then we'll go to add our new question. For this one, we'll add a simple rating, and we'll add a simple question to this. So rate the college brand colours. So we're going to say at the moment there's 5 stars to choose from, but we can change it. We can have up to 10 stars, or you can change the symbol if you wanted. You can have numbers, you can have a heart, ribbon, thumbs, like, smile, flag, light bulb, trophy, tick, etc. We're going to keep it on stars, and we're going to go back to 5 as well. With this one, we're not going to make this required, so they can skip this one if they want. And again, we've got the options down the side here. We can add a label, subtitle and branching, etc. Okay, we go to add new, and for this one, we're going to say date, and we're going to ask a simple question. Got the question, what date does the college break up for Christmas in 2023? And they will get a date picker, and they can choose the date. Again, we can say whether it's required or not, and we've got the drop down here. We've just got subtitle or branching on this one. We'll add a new question now, and we're going to choose from the more question types, and we're going to do ranking. So for the ranking one, so rank these campuses from best to worst. So we're going to go through and add the campuses in here. So we'll start off with Hall Green and fill the rest in. So I've added all of the campuses in here. And we're going to make this required. And we've got the 3 dots here. And again, we've got the shuffle options. So we can turn that on. So each time we go to it, they're in a different order. So it's so we have to move them around. We're going to leave the branching for now. And that's it. At the moment, we've just got these 5 simple questions. Now, there's a simple way of viewing it. And just at the top here, we can click on preview. And we can preview exactly what this quiz would look like on a computer. Or we can switch to a mobile view. So we can see what the quiz would look like to somebody using it on a mobile. If we switch back to computer view, we can see here that this one is mandatory, so we have to choose. So what is your favorite color? We'll select from a drop down list. I'm going to choose purple. And why do you like that color best? We have to give an answer here. Rate the college brand colors, obviously 5 out of 5. What date does the college break up for Christmas in 2023? So if we click in here, we can select the correct date there. Hopefully that's the correct date. And then rank these campuses from best to worst. Now, obviously, Hall Green's got to be at the top. The others can kind of just follow. They all kind of finish second to Hall Green. And we can click submit. So that's what we see. Your response has been successfully recorded. And we can then go back to the actual quiz itself to edit. Since we've actually given a response, even though it was in preview mode, we can see now that responses, we can see 1 next to it. So if we click into responses, we can actually view the results within the forms. So we can see these graphics actually showing exactly what the responses are. And obviously, the more people that respond, the more that these graphics change to show that. If we want, we can actually view the results. So for the individual respondents, we can see what the individuals actually gave, or we can open it in Excel, and we can also print a summary as well and share a summary link. So if we share the summary link, people just get access to this summary. They don't get access to actually edit the form at all. So if we just go back to questions now, we've seen preview. If we click on style, then we've got some options here where you can add like different styles to the actual form to change the way the form actually looks. We're just going to leave it on its standard form. You can also change the colors and you can add background music if you wanted. But we're just going to leave it all on the default. If we want to collect responses, so we want to send this form out, we click on collect responses. And then we've got these options here for who can actually respond. Now, if we click on anyone can respond, that means nobody needs to sign into it. It's completely anonymous. Anybody who's got the link anywhere in the world can actually respond to this form. If we want to keep it just within Southend City College, we can click on this, and people have to sign in to validate the link. We can then choose to record their name as well. And that way we don't need to ask their name in a specific question. We can automatically record them. But we can turn that off as well. So we can get people to sign in as a requirement, but we don't actually record their name. Or you can choose specific people within the college to respond. So we would actually enter their names in here, enter their email addresses in here, and only those people could actually respond. So we're going to leave this one on anyone can respond. And then we've got the options for sharing up here. So we can copy the link and then we can share it in an email or however we want to share it. We can also shorten the URL, so the actual address, so we can get a shorter version of it. So we can copy that link and then send it in an email. We can send the survey via a personal invitation, so we can add individuals to this, and then this is what they would see. This is the message they would see via Outlook or Teams. Or we can create a QR code and we can download that and we can share that. Or we can even get an embed code so we can add it to a website. We're just going to keep the link like that, and we copy link, and then we can just share it with whoever we need to share it with. What if we want to share it with somebody so that they can edit it as well? Well, that's simple. We just click on the three dots up here and collaborate or duplicate. If we click on that, we can add collaborators. So we click here and it generates a new link, which we can then copy and send out to people. And it defaults to anyone with an Office 365 work or school account. We can change that again. We can say just people in Southend City College can do that. So we copy that link, send it out, and just those people that have the link can actually collaborate. Or again, we can choose specific people that can actually collaborate with it as well. We can also share it as a template. So we can click here and get a link to duplicate it, and then we can share it with others so they can create their own form based on this form here. We've got settings here as well. So like we saw when we were collecting responses, we can choose who can actually respond to this form. We can say whether we are actually accepting responses for it. We can give a start date and end time. We can even say time duration for filling in the form as well. Shuffle questions, disable question number for respondents, etc., etc. And you can even get an email notification each time somebody responds to the form as well, so you can go and see what the answers are there and there. And finally on here, we've got present, which is quite a new feature from forms. And if we click on this, we can actually see that we can present this actually as a form. So in either on a board, in a meeting, or in a class, or we could share our screen during a Teams meeting. and there's a QR code there that people can scan to enter this particular form, or there's a link there so you can copy the link and paste it into the chat and whatever, and we can actually see what people's responses are live, and you can change the way that it actually looks on here as well. So we can go through each question and we can actually see what people's responses are for each of these questions as well. So you can actually present a form live, which is a relatively new feature. So that's a pretty quick overview of forms. There's lots more that forms can actually do, and how we can actually share them as well. But that should get you started with forms. And with anything else EdTech based, please get in touch with the EdTech team if there's anything more you'd like to learn.